Yeah, we mentioned this in the last segment, and this isn't a big I told you so. When Schwarzenegger was governor, he came up with this harebrained idea for furlough Fridays. You know, the DMV will be closed on Fridays, and the state workers will have to take an unpaid day off every month.
And TV reporters were screaming and crying over the closure of the DMV on Fridays. Remember that?
It was a big deal. Yeah.
All the suffering.
Robert Kovacic for Channel 4 was standing outside a DMV office every Friday looking for people who showed up not knowing.
It was like the coverage of the Hindenburg exploding.
That's right. Somehow we got by, didn't we? However, the damage from this, which we tried to explain to you then, is now coming to the forefront in that the state workers who got furloughed, that is, a day without pay, decided, all right, I'll use that day to do my errands or maybe take a long weekend, and I will bank my vacation time so I can get a nice check down the road.
Because if you don't use your vacation, once you quit or retire, you get paid for that vacation day anyway. So you get paid twice for the same day. Once when you work it, and once as a vacation day when you retire.
So the state will now owe $1 billion extra to these workers. And in fact, one report says if all the state workers left today, we would owe them almost $4 billion in back unpaid vacation time.
I'll make that deal. Everybody quit today. We'll give you your $4 billion in vacation pay, and you're all gone now.
Listen to this. In June of 2012, the average state employee had about 53 vacation days saved, 51% more than when Schwarzenegger first ordered forced absences in 2009.
They're given too much vacation time. Way too much vacation time on purpose.
The average worker had 53 days stored up.
Yeah, I mean, state workers are lazy and useless. Can you imagine how many vacation days they're getting that the average has an extra 53 in the bank? I mean, they work as minimally as possible, but there's porno to download.
Most state employees
you can't take every day off.
Most state employees are allowed to keep only 80 days of unused vacation, but apparently many exceed the limit. In fact, 24,000 state workers exceed the 80-day limit.
They don't enforce that. They don't enforce the limit. Of course, it would be easy to enforce, but they choose not to, in order to please the union masters. So they give them way too much vacation time. They get to bank the vacation time, and they get paid for time off they never took, and they get an unlimited amount because nobody pays attention to the limits.
So Schwarzenegger's his finance director at the time, Mike Genest, was unearthed for this story. And he said, well, we didn't know what to do because laying off employees, thanks to the civil service process, would take too long. Across-the-board pay cuts would require the union to agree, the legislature to agree, or both. All we could come up with was furloughs. Quote, it was a mistake, but there was no other tool. They kicked the can down the road.
Yeah, but they kept re-signing. They've all been re-signing the union contracts. What you have to do is say, this all ends. If you don't like it, go on strike, and then replace the strikers. That's what you do.
All right, we're about a half an hour away from the Moist Line because it's Friday. And when we come back, though, we're going to talk to Chris Reed from the San Diego Union Tribune, who has some stuff to tell us about the Brown Doggle, California's high-speed rail. It really is. They should not start the first segment because it looks more and more like that's all there's going to be built.
The Johnny